Welcome to historic Riley Park in beautiful Sumter, South Carolina. Today's game features our visitors from Manning, Post 68. While enjoying today's baseball game, remember the American Legion promotes good sporting behavior by our student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the P-15s, our visitors, and the officials in a positive manner. Please keep in mind that Riley Park is a tobacco-free facility. No smoking, dipping, vaping, or use of tobacco is permitted on the grounds of per City of Sumter statute. First, our visitors from Manning, Post 68. Starting with number 1, Jackson Baker as pitcher. Number 22, Blandon Miller as catcher. Number 13, Rory Carter as left field. Number 17, Josh Niswanger as right field. Number 5, Greener Powell as shortstop. Number 2, Braylon Hunt as second base. Number 11, Charlie Collar at center field. Number 23, Riley Jordan at first base. Number 8, Sloan Harper at third base. Followed by their substitutes, number 3, Bryson Cannon, number 4, Ethan Lee Jones, number 6, Hall Dukes, number 7, Cole Hawthorne, number 9, Bobby Whitley, number 10, Joe Hatchell, number 12, Bryson Pepper, number 14, Braden Barnhill, number 16, Pearson Gamble, number 18, Logan McGregor, number 21, Sammy Tomlinson, number 24, Brody Miller, number 99, Connor Morris. Followed by their coaches, head coach Greg King, followed by assistant coaches Colt Gibbons, Wyatt Alsbrook, Avery Goff, Britton Morris, Nelson Gibbons, and Greer Gibbons. Next up for our P-15s, starting with number 5, right field, BJ Balls, number 11, left field, Corey Bailey, number 19, catcher, Gavin Rivers, number 18, designated hitter, Mac McDaniel, number 10, Connor Carter, first base, number 4, shortstop, Justin Pendergrass, number 3, Larry Johnson, second base, number 9, Bodie Bowden, center field, number 6, Katie Mooneyhan, third base, and number 2, Marin Davis, pitcher. Followed by their substitutes, number 7, Joseph Chapman, number 12, Brode Stanfield, number 13, Burton Pack, number 14, Zy Dennis, number 15, Matthew McKinnon, number 16, Hudson Harris, number 17, Wyatt Monahan, number 18, Easton Donlin, and number 20, Owen Barkley. followed by their coaches, head coach T. DeBois, assistant coaches Clayton Goff, Landon Delavan, and Robbie Moodihan. Our umpires today at play is going to be Chris Taylor, and on field is going to be Hot Collins with a C. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we kindly request you please raise for our opening ceremonies. Leading our prayer today is going to be Sean Custer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather today and play the game we love. We ask for your protection over every player, coach, and umpire on the field. Please keep our bodies strong, our minds sharp, and our hearts steady. Help us to compete with integrity, to respect our opponents, and to be the source of encouragement to our teammates. No matter the outcome, let our words and our actions honor you. Give us the grace to celebrate our successes with the humility to handle our losses with resilience. In Heavenly Father's name, amen.
The Sportsman Code is presented by Cody Thibodeau. Please remain standing for our national anthem as we honor America and those men and women who serve to protect it. As a reminder for veterans in attendance, it is optional to remain covered and render a hand salute during the playing of the national anthem in lieu of removing your cap. The national anthem is being sung by Dennis Gagne. Let's play ball.
I'm Taylor Nominger on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams, 92.3 and 93.3 FM. We welcome you into historic Bobby Richardson Field here at Riley Ballpark. Your P-15s are in the playoffs as they will play Manning Santee Post 68. The P-15s won their region, League 2 in American Legion Baseball. They're the number one in that region, and they're the number one in this side of the tournament. And they're playing the 3 seed, Manning Santee Post 68. They come in with a 9-5 overall record. Meanwhile, your Sumter P-15s 11-8 overall. Last time these two teams met was back on June 2nd. Manning won 4-1, and Sumter won back on June 4th, 2026. They won 6-5. So both teams got the better of each other, but 1-1 split right down the middle. And this is a big moment here for the Sumter P-15s as they will get things started here. And on the mound warming up is Marion Davis. He's going to be on the mound pitching. Connor Carter at first. Cade Moonahan at third. Pendergrass at short. Johnson at second. Left field, Corey Bailey. Center field, Bodie Bowden. And in right field, B.J. Balls. And we're ready to go here. P-15s wearing the light baby blue uniforms with Sumter across their chest in red. At the plate now for Manning Santee, leading things off for them, is Jackson Baker. Baker steps in the left-handed batter's box. Righty-lefty matchup here. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The pitch in there for a ball in the outer half of the plate. Davis with an impressive record this summer for your Sumter P-15s. He's 5-1 in the win-loss column as a starter. Davis gives the nod. The 1-0 to Baker. In there for a strike. Count evens at 1 apiece. Davis has had 38 strikeouts this summer for your Sumter P-15s. The local Sumter High School Gamecock is going to Florence Darlington Tech in the spring to play college ball. The 1-1 pitch in there for a strike. Caught the inside corner. Baker almost pulled his trigger. And 1-2 the count now. See if Davis can get out number 1 and get his first strikeout in the afternoon. Davis shakes off Rivers. Now gives him the nod. Davis taking his time as he winds. The 1-2 pitch outside. 2-2 now here to Baker. Baker from Andrews High School. Rising senior, 2027 prospect. Baker batting .345 this summer for Manning Santee. Davis winds the 2-2 pitch. Outside. Count full now to Baker. P-15s don't want to put that leadoff runner on. See if Davis can find the strike zone. Carter kind of hugging the line at first. The 3-2 pitch swung on and foul to the left side there. And we'll do it again. Manning Santee coming in pretty hot against your Sumter P-15s. They've won their last 2 games of the regular season. Meanwhile, your Sumter P-15s have lost the last 4. P-15s trying to get in the win column here tonight. A very crucial first game in this 3-game series between these two squads as the home plate umpire calls time. Didn't like how long Davis was taking there on the mound. 3-2 the count here to Baker. Davis winds the pitch. Swung on and missed. Davis gets his first strikeout on the afternoon and out number 1 here in the top of the first. Boy, that was a deep count there. But Davis with his 39th strikeout this summer for your Sumter P-15s. So 1 out. And at the plate now will be the catcher, number 22, Landon Miller. Miller steps in the right-handed batter's box. Righty-righty matchup here. Davis winds, delivers, in there for a ball. Outside, the umpire says. Miller from Lawrence Manning Academy, 2028 prospect, rising junior at the plate here. See if Davis can get out number 2. The 1-0, upstairs, 2-0 quickly here to Miller. Infield playing really deep. Pendergrass is kind of hugging the grass at short. Johnson's hugging the grass at second as well. Infield playing very deep. Davis winds the 2-0 pitch. Just caught the hair of the strike zone on the outside corner of the plate. 2-1 the count now. Appears the radar gun is offline tonight. Davis gives the nod to his catcher Rivers. They've been catching together since they were 10 years old. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled off there by Miller. Yeah, Gavin Rivers, Marion Davis, been playing together since Little League. Just a solid pitcher and catcher duo. 2-2 the count here to Miller. See if Davis can get out number 2 and another strikeout. The pitch swung on and fouled off. Hit right near the Manning Santee dugout over there. They've got a lot of players on their roster. Great crowd on hand here at Riley Park tonight. A lot of games happening here in Sumter with American Legion Junior championships are happening as well. Davis winds the 2-2 pitch. Inside, almost hit Miller. 3-2 the count. This Manning Santee back-to-back batters have definitely got Marion Davis in some deep counts. See if he can get out number 2. The 3-2 pitch outside, and Miller will draw the 1-out walk for Manning Santee, post 68. So he'll be at first base. And at the plate now for Manning will be their left fielder, number 13, Rory Carter. Carter from Lawrence Manning Academy as well. 2025 grad. Carter batting .390 on the season for Manning Santee. This team is a very talented hitting squad, and I talked to Coach DeBose earlier today, and he mentioned how high power this team is. Davis winds the pitch, swung on, hit up high, up in the field, and Davis will make the catch, as that one was right in front of the pitcher's mound for out number 2. So 2 outs with the runner at first. And at the plate now, right fielder, number 17, Joshua Neiswanger. Neiswanger, Lawrence Manning Academy grad this past spring, 2026 product. Neiswanger used to play last year for the Sumter P-15s, but he's traded in that red and blue for gray and blue with Manning Santee. Davis winds, delivers outside for a ball. Neiswanger, a very solid hitter. Also a really good pitcher for Manning Santee, so we might see him later in the ball game, kind of that middle reliever. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 1-0 pitch, outside, just a hair. 2-0 quickly here to Neiswanger. Manning Santee wearing an all-gray uniform, blue sleeves. Meanwhile, your Sumter P-15s wearing the baby blues. The 2-0 pitch, in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there for Marion Davis. Caught Neiswanger looking there for strike 1. Davis glances over that left shoulder at the runner at first. Now he winds the 2-1 pitch. Down low and away, 3-1 now, and Davis is having a little trouble finding the strike zone here. See if he can get Neiswanger to just swing at something and pop it up. P-15's trying to get that third out here in the top of the first. The 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Big cut by Neiswanger, and he fell off after swinging at that one. That one was definitely swinging for the fences there. That's brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. Neiswanger steps in the right-handed batter's box. 3-2 the count. Another full count. See if Davis can get that final out. He gives the nod to Rivers. The pitch, runner goes, swung on, hit up high and foul to the right side near the stands over there on first base. And we'll do it again. P-15s will be on the road tomorrow night at Manning Santee for Game 2. And Game 3 is kind of up in the air if they're going to play it here on Friday or Saturday. We'll find more details about that later. 3-2 the count. Here to Niswonger. Davis winds, delivers, runner up, go, and a walk there. Pitch was really high there from Davis, and he's given up 2 walks. So Manning Santee has first and second here with 2 outs, and they're in the top of the first. And at the plate, the shortstop, number 5, Granger Powell. Powell from Lawrence Manning Academy, 2027 prospect, rising senior. 321 average at the plate for Manning Santee this summer. Righty-righty matchup. Davis glances at the runner. Now looks back. The pitch in there for a ball. Down, low and away. Rivers appeals to the umpire in the field. He says he didn't go. Powell almost pulled the trigger there for our swing. P-15s just need one more out here in the top of the first. Davis glances at the runner at second. The 1-0 swung on and fouled straight back near the parking lot for strike 1. P-15s have had some really well-needed rest. Their last game was last Thursday, so almost a whole week off for the Sumter P-15s. Powell steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Davis trying to find the strike zone. The 1-1 pitch in there for a strike right at the knees. Beautiful pitch there from Davis for strike 2. Caught Powell staring at that one. Davis already has 1 strikeout here in the top of the first. Looking for his second here. P-15s. Big playoff game here tonight. Davis glances at the runner. The 1-2 pitch swung on a hard hit ball to shortstop Pendergrass. He grabs it, flips it to second for the nice final out of the inning. Still scoreless here at Rowley Park. Your P-15s playing Manning Santee post 68. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 90. For your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field, your historic Riley Ballpark. Your P-15s scoreless so far with Manning Santee post 68. Your P-15s will come to the plate trying to get some runs across, get some hits, get something going. P-15s come in tonight's game on a 4-game skid. They lost last Thursday at Richland 10-9, and then last week they had 3 games. They lost to West Columbia Tuesday 7-7, and they also lost to Lexington and Camden. So losing streak has been kind of a theme, and one of the themes for the P-15s has been errors the last several ball games. So good start at the top of the first. Very nicely fielded ball there from Pendergrass to kind of calm the nerves. We'll see if B.J. Balls can do something here at the plate. Balls, the right fielder. Lawrence Manning Academy alum. A lot of former teammates on the field he's going against. The pitch in there for a strike on the outside corner. Balls shakes his head, didn't like the call. Third baseman is crashing, playing in on the grass over there for Manning. The 0-1 swung on a hard hit ball, and that is a single in the shallow left field. That one's down. A leadoff single for B.J. Balls. That's B.J. Balls' 26th single on the season. He leads the squad in that category, and boy, Coach DeBose very well pleased with that. Leadoff man on here for your P-15s in the bottom of the first. And at the plate now, left fielder, number 11, Corey Bailey. Bailey, Sumter High School grad, 2025. Steps in the right-handed batter's box. Bailey showing bunt early. And he pulls it back for strike one. On the mound tonight for Manning is Jackson Baker. Baker glances over that left shoulder. Now throws over. Oh, they've got Balls in a pickle. The first baseman, Jordan, he's going to tag him out. No, he doesn't. He had the ball in his hand. The ball goes over the second baseman, and Balls will advance safely to second base. Boy, it looked like Jordan clearly had him, but he did not put the ball in his glove, and we saw that a couple weeks ago. The Sumter P-15s didn't record an out because they tagged a player without the ball in the glove. So a big miscue there for Manning Santee, post 68. And looks like the head coach for Manning Santee is going to come out and talk to the umpire, and the umpires are going to talk about this call. Ball was clearly not in the glove, and Ball's got to second base clearly. And they're going to say he's safe. So Balls with another stolen bag. He's 23 for 25 in that category. That's right, folks. He's had 23 stolen bases this summer. Balls, very speedy guy. Played this past year at Florence Darlington Tech. He's going into his sophomore campaign over there in Florence. So Balls at second, no outs. Bailey at the plate. The 0-1. Bailey gets a bunt down. It's a beautiful one down the third base line. Baker grabs it. He does not throw. Corey Bailey with a single off the bunt. Beautiful bunt there by the left fielder for your P-15s. And your Sumter P-15s have something cooking here. First and third, no outs here in the bottom of the first. And that'll bring up Gavin Rivers, the catcher, to the plate. Rivers from Sumter High School. Graduated this past spring. Rivers committed to USC Sumter. He's going to be a future fire ant. So he's going to get used to playing in Riley Park. Rivers steps in the right-handed batter's box. Baker winds. Rivers shows bunt, gets it down, a beautiful bunt. Third baseman flips it to home, and not in time. B.J. Balls comes across for the first run of the ball game, and your P-15s, they lead 1-0 over Manning Santee, post 68. Really surprised there that the third baseman, Harper, went home. It felt like he had a better angle to get the runner out at first. But everyone is safe, so first and second, no outs. And that'll bring up the DH, number 8, Mac McDaniel. McDaniel steps in the right-handed batter's box. Corners are in here for Manning. Jordan playing well in over there at first. Pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count here to McDaniel. 6 doubles this summer. Leads the team. McDaniel with 10 singles, 7 RBIs. Solid hitter at the plate. Rising Sumter High School Gamecock at the plate. Baker winds, delivers. McDaniel gets a butt down. It's a beautiful one. It dives right down the line, and it is a fair ball. Fair ball! Fair ball! McDaniel with a bunt, and the bases are loaded for your Sumter P-15s with no outs. Baker, the pitcher, tried to let that ball die right on the line, and it literally stopped right on the line and was a fair ball. Just a beautiful bunt there by Mac McDaniel. P-15s with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the first. They lead 1-0 here with no outs, and that'll bring up Connor Carter, the first baseman. P-15s trying to add to this one-run advantage. Baker winds, delivers in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there from Baker. Carter has done a great job this season at first base for your Sumter P-15s, the East Clarendon product. Baker winds, delivers, swung on, and that one's hit to shallow right. Is he going to catch it? He does. And no one will advance. Bailey thought about tagging it up, but it was hit well shallow into right field. Good play out there by the right fielder for out number 1. So bases loaded, 1 out, and Justin Pendergrass will come to the plate. Pendergrass looking at Coach Moonahan, getting the call before he steps in the right-handed batter's box. Pendergrass, a Sumter High School product, played this past season at Claflin University as he's going into his sophomore campaign down in Orangeburg. Baker winds, delivers, swung on and fouled. Ooh, that was a laser foul to the right side. Pendergrass played really well in last Thursday's game for your Sumter P-15s. He reached the base pass every time he was at the plate. Jordan creeping in at first. The 0-1 pitch in there for a ball. Just missed. Good take there from Pendergrass. Yeah, Pendergrass was 3 for 4 in Thursday's loss against Richland. He had 3 singles and an RBI. He's been hitting the ball well here for Sumter. See if he can get one here. The 1-1. Down low and away, just missed on the outside part of the plate, right below the knees. Baker is not happy as he looks a little frustrated on the mound here for Manning. 2-1 the count here to Pendergrass. Baker looking for out number 2 here. The pitch swung on, and that's a sharply hit ball, and that's gonna fall in the right field. That one's still rolling. It gets past the right fielder. 1 run comes across. 2 runs come across. The right fielder brings it in, and 3 runs come across. A base-clearing triple for Justin Pendergrass. Boy, I mentioned he can hit the baseball, but that one was a beauty, and the right fielder did not have a clue as that one went through his glove. It rolled all the way to the wall, and their P-15s, they're up 4-0 over Manning Santee post 68. Pendergrass at third here with 1 out. Larry Johnson at the plate, the second baseman for your P-15s. The pitch in there for a ball. Oh, a late strike call there by the home plate umpire. P-15 faithful starting to hear the boos. Baker in desperate need of out number 2. The 0-1 outside. 1-1 the count here to Johnson. Corners are in here for Manning Santee. First baseman and third baseman playing in on the grass. The 1-1 to Johnson. Outside. 2-1 now. P-15s with 3 bunt singles this inning. They're putting on a bunt clinic out there. So they lead 4-0. The 2-1 to Johnson, swung on and fouled straight back. 2-2 the count now. Johnson, the Sumter High School product. Rising senior, 2027. Baker looking for his first strikeout on the afternoon for Manning. The 2-2. Swung on a hard hit ball out to left center field. Center fielder's going back, and he makes the catch. Pendergrass will tag from third, and he'll stand up for another run for your Sumter P-15s. A great RBI sac fly there by Larry Johnson, and the P-15s have extended the lead 5-0 over Manning Santee post 68 here in the bottom of the first. Great piece of hitting there by Johnson. And at the plate now will be the center fielder, number 9, Bodie Bowden. And he swings at the first pitch he sees. That one's a grounder to the second baseman. Second baseman tosses it to first for the nice 4-3 out. We've played 1 inning here at Riley Park. Your Sumter P-15s, they lead 5-0 over Manning Santee post 68. We'll be right back with the top of the second. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Davis takes a breath. The pitch, inside, almost hit him for ball 1. 86-mile-per-hour heater there. Good-looking fastball from Davis. Better take there from Hunt. Hunt from East Clarendon, rising senior. One of the better hitters on their lineup. Hunt did not play against Sumter back in early June. The 1-0, inside, almost hit him as he fell to the ground. 2-0 now. Hunt was 3 for 4 last game and had 3 hits and 2 runs for Manning Santee in their 4-3 win over Horry last Wednesday. Davis winds the 2-0 in there for a strike right at the knees. Hunt with the best average for Manning Santee. He's batting .429 coming in. Also has a really good on-base percentage at .515. Moonahan creeping in from third. The 2-1 pitch, swung on and fouled straight back. 2-2 now. Hunt trying to get something going here for Manning Santee as they trail 5-0 here on the top of the second. Davis on the mound here for your Sumter P-15s, looking for his first out. As he winds, the 2-2 pitch, upstairs, 3-2 now. This was a problem back in the first. This Manning Santee team, they do a really good job watching the baseball. They were able to get Davis in some very deep counts. Davis winds, the 3-2 pitch, swung on, a high dribbler, and foul down the third base line. And we'll do it again. Sun is really in the eyes of center fielder Bodie Bowden and right fielder B.J. Balls. Starting to get a little shady out there in left. Beautiful evening for some baseball here at Riley Park. Hunt trying to get something going here for Manning. Davis looking for out number 1. The 3-2 pitch inside for a ball. And Hunt with the leadoff walk for Manning Santee, post 68. So he'll be at first base with no outs. And at the plate now will be the center fielder, number 11, Charlie Calder. Calder from Williamsburg Academy, rising senior, 2027 prospect, as he steps in the right-handed batter's box. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The pitch, outside for a ball, low and away. Great job by Rivers, sliding into that left-handed batter's box to get it. Hunt with the big lead at first base for Manning. Davis throws over, not in time. Good job by Connor Carter catching that one. A little offline. Moonahan playing well in at third base for your Sumter P-15s. He's kind of anticipating that bunt towards him. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 1-0 pitch in there for a ball. Excuse me, a strike. Late call from the ump. Count evens at 1 apiece. P-15s lead 5-0 here in the top of the second. Manning Santee trying to answer. Davis winds the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a hard hit ball. That's roped into left field for a single. And he gets past Corey Bailey. They wave around Hunt, and he's going to come across for the first run of the ball game. Boy, Bailey was nonchalant out there and kind of let that ball roll through his legs, and Manning Santee is able to get a run across. That's going to be an E7 charged on Corey Bailey. 5-1 our score now. And Landon Delvin, the pitching coach for your Sumter P-15s, is out of the dugout. He's going to come out there and talk to Davis, who's having a little trouble finding the strike zone. Really surprised that Corey Bailey made that error. Very uncharacteristic for him. He's such a solid fielder. That ball was really roped down the third base line. Moonahan had a chance at it, but just unable to get there. As Landon Delvin will head back to the P-15 dugout. And Manning Santee has a little life here with a runner on third and no outs as they trail 5-1, getting their first run across here in the top of the second. And that brings up the football player, Riley Jordan, to the plate, or I should say first baseman. Jordan committed to Averett University up in Danville, Virginia for football. Righty-righty matchup. Davis looking for out number 1. The pitch, upstairs for a ball. Jordan trying to get this run across for Manning, as he's from Andrews High School. Just graduated this past spring, 2026 prospect. The 1-0 from Davis, down low and away. 2-0 quickly here to Jordan. Jordan played offensive line for Andrews High School, taking his talents to the D3 level up there in Danville, Virginia at Averett University. Davis winds the 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him on the inside pitch there. 2-1 the count now as Jordan steps out of the right-handed batter's box. Now steps back in. Manning Santee is able to get a run across here in the top of the second. They still have a runner at third with no outs. Davis taking his time. The pitch, swung on, hit up high, and foul to the left side. Strike 2. P-15s lead 5-1. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first off of 5 hits. 3 of those were bunts. Davis looking for out number 1. Lights are on. The 2-2 pitch. Oh, and it hits him, and Jordan wears it. And the Manning Santee dugout, they're starting to feel the life over there down the third base line. As Manning Santee has runners on the corners, no outs, as they trail by 4 runs. Top of the order due up. At the plate now is the third baseman, number 8, Salone Harper. The 9-hole hitter. Harper steps in the left-handed batter's box. Lights are on here at Raleigh Park. Righty-lefty matchup. Davis peeks over that left shoulder. Now he winds the pitch. Inside for a ball. Just a miss. 1-0 the count. Harper trying to make more of a dent in this 4-run advantage for the P-15s. As he looks at strike 1 right down Broadway there from Davis. Harper from Andrews High School, 2025 grad. A lot of Andrews High School, Lawrence Manning. A lot of schools Manning Santee draws from. The 1-1 from Davis, swung on and missed. Big cut there from Harper. Big swing and a miss at that fastball. Davis enters the top of the second here with 1 strikeout. See if he can get his second here. The 1-2 pitch, swung on and hit up high behind third base in the shallow left field. Bailey's tracking it, and he makes the catch near the left field line for out number 1, and everyone stays put. A big first out for your Sumter P-15s. Great play over there by Bailey. So runners on the corner still with 1 out, and top of the order is now due up with Jackson Baker at the plate. Baker 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game, and he's on the mound for Manning. Righty-lefty matchup. Jordan with the big lead at first. Davis steps off the rubber and will reset. Now Davis steps back on. P-15's looking for out number 2. The pitch in there for a ball. Waist high there to Baker. P-15's lead 5-1 here in the top of the second. Manning Santee trying to make more of a dent. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The pitch swung on, hit up high into right field, right center field, and Bowden makes the catch. A runner will tag, and he will score for Manning Santee. 5-2 our score now. Good play out there in center by Bowden. And at the plate now will be the catcher, number 22, Landon Miller. Miller had a walk his last at bat in the first. Boy, B.J. Balls is really battling the sun out there in right. Davis winds the pitch. Outside. 1-0 the count. Manning Santee has scored 2 runs here in the top of the second. 5-2 our score. P-15 still lead. See if they can continue that mojo here with a 2-out rally. Davis winds, delivers. Inside, almost hit Miller for ball 2. P-15s do have a pitcher warming up in their bullpen. Looks like Matthew McKinnon. Davis winds. The pitch swung on and fouled to the right side for strike 1. Davis has been behind in a lot of counts in tonight's ball game. He's pitched a lot of balls. A lot of these Manning Santee hitters are getting to that 3-2 count, getting really deep. So Marion Davis has pitched a lot of pitches. The 2-1 to Miller. Swung on and missed. Big cut there for strike 2. Miller tapping his bat with that left hand, not happy after that big swing and a miss. As Rivers is going to come out and talk to Davis, trying to get that final out and get that perfect pitch here to Miller. Looks like McKinnon is coming in from right field. Just tossing the baseball out there. Nothing serious. Just getting loose just in case. Davis shakes off Rivers. Now he gathers. The 2-2 to Miller. Swung on a hard hit ball by Miller into left field. Bailey is tracking it and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But Manning Santee was able to get 2 runs across off of 1 hit. And they trail by 3 runs. 5-2 our score. Your P-15 still lead as we head to the bottom of the second. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM.
Came back Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and, worked our butts off. And, we... Just super looking forward to watching them play.
And that's Coach DeBose talking about his P-15s. As Cade Moonaghan is at the plate, the 9-hole hitter for your Sumter P-15s, the third baseman. He swings and misses at that first pitch. 0-1 the count now. Baker winds, delivers. In there for a strike on the outside corner. 0-2 quickly here to Moonaghan. The East Clarendon product. Moonaghan steps back in. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-2 pitch, outside, good eye there from Moonaghan for ball 1. P-15s were able to have a really big inning in the bottom of the first, last inning, with 5 runs. The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Moonaghan goes down swinging for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second. And Jackson Baker gets his first strike on the afternoon for Manning Santee. And that'll bring up the top of the order for your Sumter P-15s. The right fielder, number 5, B.J. Balls to the plate. Balls had a really nice leadoff single. Got the balls rolling for your P-15s. The pitch swung on and fouled off, and it is just foul. P-15s had that nice leadoff single from Balls, and then they had 3 straight singles off of bunts down the third base line. And then Pendergrass with that huge base-clearing triple See if the P-15s can add to their 3-run advantage. Baker winds the 0-1 pitch, swung on a hard hit ball. That is foul. Down the first base line. P-15 faithful aren't happy. It looked fair for a second, but it did go foul. Umpire has a really good angle. He's right in front of that first base bag. Fans here at Riley Park aren't happy. Ball smiles and shrugs it off. Now he steps back in the left-handed batter's box. Baker winds the 0-2 pitch, swung on and hit up high into center field. Center fielder's going back, and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. P-15 still lead 5-2, and Corey Bailey will come to the plate, the left fielder for your Sumter P-15s. Bailey's 1 for 1 in tonight's game and scored a run. Baker winds, delivers, swung on, a little dribbler to the mound. Baker grabs it and he'll flip it to first for the nice 1-3 out. Really quick inning there from Baker. We've played 2 innings here at Riley Park. Your P-15s, they lead 5-2 over Manning Santee. We'll be right back with more baseball in the top of the third. You're listening to The Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM.
Out there, and I got some guys who can hit, man. So we're gonna have to pitch well. We're gonna have to make all our plays in the field, so we don't give them as many opportunities to hit. I mean, it's we can't give anything away. Against them, they are a tough team.
That's Coach DeBose talking about how tough Manning Santee is. Very solid squad coming in. Marion Davis still on the mound. Carter at the plate. The pitch in there for a ball. Carter 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Popped up right in front of home plate. His last at bat in the first. Davis winds the pitch. Swung on a hard hit ball. That'll be a single in the right field. A nice leadoff single there by Carter. So he'll be at first base with no outs here in the top of the third. And at the plate now for Manning Santee will be the right fielder, number 17, Joshua Niswanger. Niswanger drew a walk back in the first. Very dangerous hitter at the plate. Niswanger is also a pitcher, too. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The pitch in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there from Davis. Well, he slowed that one down, 72 miles per hour. See if he gives him the fastball. Davis glances over that left shoulder. Now he throws over, not in time. Corey Bailey playing really deep in left field for your Sumter P-15s. He's probably 10 or 15 feet from that warning track. Meanwhile, Bodie Bowden playing at regular depth, and so is Balls in right, who's battling the sun. Davis winds the 0-1 pitch. Outside. Good high there by Niswonger for ball one. Davis with one strikeout in tonight's game. He's looking for out number one here in the top of the third. Niswonger trying to get something going. The 1-1 pitch in there for a strike right at the knees. Good pitch there from Marion Davis. Sun is slowly starting to set to my left. Davis looking over at first at Carter. Now he gathers. Niswonger patiently awaiting. The 1-2 pitch swung on. A hard hit ball through the right side. Going to be a tough play. Johnson grabs it, flips it to Davis, and they get the out. Great play by Larry Johnson, and a really smart play by Marion Davis hustling over there to cover the bag as Carter went over and tried to get to it but was unsuccessful, and Johnson did a great job sliding over to get the ball there. So runner at second with one out, and that'll bring up the shortstop for Manning Santee, number 5, Powell. Granger Powell at the plate. Powell 0 for 1 in tonight's game with the ground out. Righty-righty matchup. Davis glances at the runner at second. Now looks back. The pitch, outside. Good eye there from Powell for ball one. Powell looks at his head coach over there. Now steps back in the right-handed batter's box. P-15's looking for out number 2 here in the top of the third, leading 5-2. Davis glances back at the runner. The 1-0 in there for a strike. Beautiful fastball there from Marion Davis. 85-mile-per-hour heater for strike one. Powell, the shortstop from Lawrence Manning Academy, rising senior. A lot of Lawrence Manning Academy players on this Manning Santee roster. A lot of Swamp Cats at the plate. Davis winds the 1-1 pitch. Outside for a strike. Great job there by Gavin Rivers. Kind of holding that ball right on the edge of the zone and gets the call from the umpire. 1-2 now here to Powell. Davis looking for out number 2. Now he winds. Carter playing in at first for your P-15s, playing on the edge of the grass. Davis staring down the runner. And the home plate umpire calls time. Didn't like how long Davis was taking there. Powell comes in with a .321 average on the season for Manning Santee. Solid hitter at the plate. Getting the start at shortstop. Also plays second base for Manning. P-15's lead 5-2 here in the top of the third. The 1-2 pitch. Down low and away. Good eye from Powell. It's 2-2 now. Manning Santee was able to score 2 runs last inning off of 1 hit. They're trying to add another run here in the top of the third. See if Powell can find a gap here. Davis looking for that second out. The 2-2 pitch swung on, hit up high near the P-15 dugout. And it's going to be caught by the first baseman, Carter, for out number 2. Great play in foul territory there. And at the plate now for Manning Santee will be the second baseman, number 2, Braylon Hunt. Hunt drew a walk, his last at bat in the second. And Hunt's one of those guys the Sumter P-15s did not face back in early June in those 2 games that they played against them. Hunt's really come on for Manning Santee. Leads the squad with a .429 average. Davis steps off the rubber. Didn't like the big lead over there by Carter at second. Now he steps back on. Righty-righty matchup here. Hunt, the East Clarendon product. Rising senior. At the plate. Trying to get this run across for Manning. Davis winds the pitch, swung on a hard hit ball to the third baseman Moonahan. He grabs it, throws across the diamond for the nice 5-3 out. Good scoop over there by Carter. As we head to the bottom of the third, your P-15s, they lead 5-2 over Manning Santee post 68. We'll be right back with more baseball. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. All right. Welcome back to P-15 Baseball. I'm Taylor Novinger on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here at historic Raleigh Ballpark. Here in the bottom of the third, your P-15s lead 5-2 over Manning Santee post 68 as Gavin Rivers takes strike one. Catcher for your Sumter P-15s. He's 1 for 1. Baker winds, delivers, and swung on and missed. 0-2 quickly here to Rivers. Rivers scored a run back in the first. He steps back in the right-handed batter's box. Baker wasting no time. The 0-2 pitch in there for a ball. Just missed. Good eye there from Rivers. Rivers with 15 singles, 5 doubles, 9 RBIs on the season. The 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled to the right side by Rivers. Baker was able to record his first strikeout last inning for Manning Santee. Looking for out number 1 here in the bottom of the third, trailing by 3 runs. The 1-2 to Rivers, swung on a slow dribble to the third baseman. He grabs it, throws it across the diamond for the nice 5-3 out for out number 1. Good play over there by Harper at third. And at the plate now for your Sumter P-15s is the DH, number 8, Mac McDaniel. McDaniel had arguably his best hit all season. He did a masterful job with that bunt down the third base line. back in the first. Baker Wines delivers outside for a ball. He hit it right on the line, and Baker let it keep rolling, and that ball literally just died right on the line. Just excellent bunt from Mac McDaniel, his last at bat. The 1-0 swung on and fouled off the foot of McDaniel there for strike one. P-15s had 5 hits off of 5 runs back in the first. Haven't done much since. See if they can get something going here in the bottom of the third. The 1-1 in there for a strike. Little outside there. The P-15 faithful are not happy. They're letting the umpire hear it. Baker Wines delivers, swung on, and that'll be through for a single. Mac McDaniel reached down there and got it. Beautiful piece of hitting there by the DH for your Sumter P-15s. I don't think Mac McDaniel liked that strike call either, and he said, I'll take care of business with a nice single. So runner at first, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the third. P-15s lead 5-2. And at the plate now, the first baseman, Connor Carter. Baker glances over that left shoulder. Now he winds the pitch in there for a ball. Boy, Mac McDaniel is slowly putting a really solid night together for your Sumter P-15s. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Baker Wines delivers in there for a strike right at the knees of Carter. Carter 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Had a fly out back in the first. See if he can find a gap here for Sumter. Baker glances over that left shoulder again. Now gives the nod to his catcher. The 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled off there by Carter for strike 2. Baker has done a nice job so far here in the third, getting ahead in counts for Manning. P-15s are no strangers with 2 strikes and hitting the baseball. See if Carter can choke up on this bat here and find a gap. Baker throws to first, not in time to get McDaniel. Good job by Jordan, able to corral the baseball as that one was a little low. Went off his glove, but was able to stop it. Sun is almost completely set to my left. Bobby Richardson Field almost entirely in the shade. Right fielder for Manning still battling the sun. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2 now. Here to Carter. Good eye there by the P-15 first baseman. Baker looking at the scoreboard. Not happy, trailing by 3 runs. He's looking for out number 2. The 2-2 to Carter, swung on, hit up high and foul through the left side. That one hit the roof here. P-15s with 6 hits in tonight's ball game. See if they can put something together here in the third, leading 5-2. The 2-2 from Baker, upstairs, good eye there by Connor Carter. He wanted to swing at that baseball. You saw him almost pull that bat around. Full count now. Here to your P-15 first baseman. Baker glances over that left shoulder. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him swinging for strike 2. For out number 2. So 2 outs, runner at first here in the bottom of the third. And at the plate will be the shortstop, number 4, Justin Pendergrass. Pendergrass had a huge hit. His last at bat in the first had the 3 RBI triple. Baker looking for that final out of the inning. The pitch, and it gets away from the catcher, and McDaniel will take second base. Good heads-up base run in there. So runner in scoring position here for your Sumter P-15s. With 2 outs. Pendergrass, the Sumter High School product, Claflin University this past spring. The 1-0 swung on, hit up high down the right field line. Going to be a tough play and just gets fouled. Right fielder, nice swanger. Couldn't quite get there. Kind of surprised to see him in right field. Back in early June, Niswanger was primarily their first baseman and in that DH role. But he's starting in tonight's contest in right. 1-1 the count here to Pendergrass. Baker glances at the runner. The pitch. Oh, inside. Almost hit Pendergrass for ball 2. He stayed in there, but somehow the baseball didn't hit him. P-15's trying to add to this 3-run advantage. The 2-1 pitch swung on, a little dribble to the second baseman. He grabs it, flips it across with a nice 4-3 out to end the inning. We've played 3 innings here at Riley Ballpark. Your P-15s, they lead 5-2 over Manning Santee post 68. As we head to the top of the 4th, we'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Historic Riley Ballpark. Your P-15s are in the playoffs, facing Manning Santee post 68. And your Sumter P-15s, they lead 5-2 as we head to the top of the 4th. Marion Davis still on the mound here, getting his warm-up pitches and getting ready to go. And we like to give a big shout-out to our sponsors for tonight's game. Newman's Automotive, Green Insurance Agency and Tax Service, FTC, CarQuest Auto Parts, Daniel Wealth Management, Piggly Wiggly, USC Sumter, and CRW Insurance. Thank you for sponsoring tonight's game. As we head to the top of the 4th, P-15's lead by 3 runs. But at the plate now for Manning will be their center fielder, who had a single earlier tonight, Charlie Calder. Calder, a righty. Righty-righty matchup here. See if he can get something going here for Manning Santee. Davis winds the pitch. Upstairs for a ball. Really close to that strike zone. Good eye from Calder. That's one thing I've been real impressed with in tonight's ball game. Manning Santee is very selective in the pitches they swing at. The 1-0 from Davis, swung on, hit up high into right field, and looks like it'll get fouled in the bullpen over there. Good hustle there from Larry Johnson and B.J. Balls. And Carter at first base, trying to get to it. Johnson was flying over there, lost his hat, now puts it back on. 1-1 to count here to Calder. Davis looking for out number 1. The pitch swung on and fouled straight back by Calder. 1-2 quickly here. P-15's trying to get a win tonight in this best-of-3 series with Manning Santee, post 68. Rivers shakes off his catcher, now gives him the nod. Davis shakes off his catcher. The 1-2, swung on a hard hit ball to second baseman Johnson. He grabs it, flips it across there for the nice 4-3 out for out number 1. Good play over there by the second baseman. And at the plate now for Manning Santee will be the first baseman, number 23, Riley Jordan. Jordan was hit by a pitch, his last at bat in the second. Jordan from Andrews High School, just graduated this past spring, and he's headed off this fall to play college football at Averett University, D3 school. Davis winds, delivers, in there for a strike right at the knees of Jordan. Good looking pitch there. Davis looks very confident on the mound. See if he can find his groove here in the top of the 4th. P-15's lead, 5-2. Jordan trying to find a gap here for Manning. The 0-1, down low and away. Just below the strike zone for ball 1. 85-mile-per-hour fastball there from Davis. Your Sumter P-15s do have an arm getting loose in the bullpen down the right field line. Davis winds the 1-1 in there for a ball. A little high and outside. Really good plate discipline there from Jordan, laying off of that one. Davis looking for out number 2 here. The 2-1, outside, all the way into the left-handed batter's box. 3-1 now. Davis getting behind in counts again here. But a lot of it is Manning Santee does a really good job seeing the baseball. Davis winds the 3-1 pitch. Just missed on the outside corner there. And Riley Jordan will draw the 1-out walk for Manning Santee here in the top of the 4th. And at the plate now will be the third baseman, number 8, Sloan Harper. So Harper will step in the left-handed batter's box. Righty-lefty matchup here. Davis glances over at first at Jordan. Now he gathers. Moonahan playing in. The pitch, down low and away for a ball. Good job by Rivers corralling that one. That one was almost in the dirt there. Moonahan playing on the grass for your P-15s as he's anticipating a bunt. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 1-0 and a bunt. It's up high and it's caught by Moonahan. Great job by Cade Moonahan. Coming in hot from third base. And Harper bunted that ball up high in the air. And it was an easy catch there for Moonahan for out number 2. So runner at first, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. P-15's lead 5-2. And that brings up the top of the order now for Manning. Jackson Baker at the plate, the pitcher. Righty-lefty matchup. Davis winds, delivers, swung on, a hard hit ball and foul down the right field line there. Baker's 0 for 2 in tonight's game for Manning. Had a fly out his last at bat in the second and had a strikeout in the first. Davis glancing over at first. Now he gathers. The 0-1. Oh, almost hit him, and it went behind Baker there. Somehow Rivers was able to corral it. Man, he's just a magician behind the plate. Really surprised Jordan didn't try to at least advance halfway there. Jordan creeping towards second. The 1-1 to Baker. Swung on, and that is hit right in front of to the second baseman Johnson, and he'll flip it to Pendergrass at short for the final out of the inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Your P-15s, they lead 5-2 over Manning Santee, post 68. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Novinger on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here in historic Raleigh Ballpark. Your P-15s leading 5-2 over Manning Santee post 68 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. As the umpires are over there talking to the P-15 coaching staff. Don't know what this is about, but a long discussion over there. Leading things off for your Sumter P-15s will be the second baseman, number 3, Larry Johnson, at the plate. Johnson had a really nice RBI sac fly his last at bat in the first, and that was able to score Pendergrass. Righty-righty matchup here. Baker on the mound here. P-15s have not had the leadoff runner on since the first. The pitch swung on and fouled to the right side by Johnson, the Sumter High School product, rising senior. Johnson looking down that third base line, looking at Coach Moonahan. Moonahan telling him to straighten out that swing. Baker winds the 0-1 pitch in there for a strike right at the knees. 0-2 quickly here to the P-15 second baseman. See if Johnson can find a gap here. The 0-2 swung on a hard hit ball, high chopper to the shortstop as he grabs it. And he takes forever to get it off his glove. He kind of sat back. Powell really should have charged that one a little bit, but it was such a good hit there from Johnson. Powell was unable to come and get that, so that'll be a nice leadoff single for your P-15s. So runner on first, no outs, and that'll bring up the 8-hole hitter, number 9, Bodie Bowden, the big center fielder at the plate. Third baseman Harper playing in over at third for Manning. Baker winds. Bowden shows bunt, pulls it back for ball 1. A layup stairs there. Johnson does have some speed on the base pass. Wouldn't be surprised if P-15s try to send him. The 1-0. And it's a bunt foul there by Bowden. Showed bunt late. Tried to lay it down that first base line. But it was foul. Count evens at 1 apiece. Boy, Harper's playing about a 3/4 the way in over there at third. Baker throws to first, not in time to get Johnson. Johnson did have a very sizable lead, but he was jumping back to first like a bunny rabbit. As he goes, and it pulled back, and Johnson with a stolen base for your P-15s. He's going to go to third as that ball gets all the way into center field. Larry Johnson with some great base running on the base pass for your Sumter P-15s. It wasn't a bad throw there. from the catcher Miller. It just felt like there was some miscommunication from the second baseman and shortstop as the ball literally hit hit Johnson right when he was diving in. So runner at third, no outs. 2-1 the count here to Bowden. Baker winds, delivers, swung on and foul to the right side. Two the count. Here to the center fielder. See if Bowden can find a gap here and bring this run across. Baker winds, delivers, swung on and fouled straight back. And we'll do it again. Bodie Bowden hanging in there for your Sumter P-15s as the infield will come in now for Manning Santee. Manning Santee trails 5-2 here in the bottom of the fourth. So they don't want any more runs coming across for Sumter. The 2-2 pitch, swung on, a hard hit ball out the shallow right. Niswanger coming in, and he'll make the catch. Johnson will tag. The throw is offline, and it is there. Niswanger with the laser. And it was offline just enough, and it was a great tag by the catcher Miller as Johnson was flying in, but great throw from Niswanger out in the right field for out number 2, and that's not what you want if you're the P-15s to make your second out at home plate. So base is cleared now with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Cade Moonaghan to the plate. Moonaghan steps back in the right-handed batter's box. Baker looking for that final out here for Manning. The pitch swung on a hard hit ball. That's fired down the left field line. Moonaghan with a nice single for your Sumter P-15s. Boy, Cade Moonaghan wasting no time swinging at the first pitch he sees, and he lasered that one out to left field. And that'll bring up the top of the order for your Sumter P-15s with B.J. Balls at the plate. Balls 1 for 2 in tonight's game. Had a leadoff single back in the first, then flew out in the second. Moonaghan with the big lead at first. Baker winds, delivers. Outside for a ball, but they're going to say BJ turned his hands around. And he went. So strike 1. Coach Moonaghan offers some encouragement. Ball steps back in the left-handed batter's box. Righty-lefty matchup. Baker winds, delivers, swung on a hard hit ball to the second baseman. He grabs it, throws it across the diamond for the nice 4-3 out to end the inning. Your P-15s, they lead 5-2 over Manning post 68 as we head to the top of the 5th. Don't go away. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Taylor Novinger on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here at historic Raleigh Ballpark. Your P-15s, they lead 5-2 over Manning post 68 here in the top of the 5th. Marion Davis still on the mound here for your Sumter P-15s as he's getting his warm-up tosses out there. And we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for tonight's game. Newman's Automotive, Green Insurance Agency and Tax Service, FTC, CarQuest Auto Parts, Daniel Wealth Management, Piggly Wiggly, USC Sumter, and CRW Insurance. Thank you for sponsoring tonight's game. Leading things off here for Manning in the top of the fifth will be number 22, the catcher, Raylan Miller. Landon Miller steps in the right-handed batter's box. Davis still on the mound here. Davis winds the pitch. Swung on a hard hit ball by Miller. That'll fall into shallow left field for a single. A nice leadoff single for Manning Santee. That's their third hit in tonight's ball game. They scored 2 runs. Their only 2 runs came across back in the second. They're trying to get something going here in the top of the fifth. And at the plate will be the left fielder, number 13, Roy Carter. Moonaghan playing in over at third, expecting a bunt. Davis winds, delivers, outside for a ball. Good eye there by Carter. Carter's 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. He had a single his last at bat in the third and popped up to the catcher back in the first. Davis glances over that left shoulder. Moonaghan drops back. The 1-0 swung on a high chopper to the Pendergrass. Pendergrass flips it to Johnson. P-15's trying to roll 2, and it gets away from Carter. And they throw to second, and do they get him? They do! Gavin Rivers backed up Carter, and he threw a laser for a nice out at second base. Really surprised they were able to get him. As the home plate umpire's going over there to talk to the infield judge, and it was a laser throw there from Gavin Rivers. Incredible play. Rivers came all the way from home plate to back up the first baseman Carter and played it off the wall beautifully. So 2 outs. And at the plate now will be the right fielder, number 17, Joshua Neiswanger. Neiswanger steps in the right-handed batter's box. Base is cleared at the moment. Davis trying to get that final out. The pitch, outside for a ball, 1-0 the count here to Neiswanger. Neiswanger 0 for 1 in tonight's game. Had a ground out his last at bat in the third and had a walk back in the first. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 1-0 swung on a hard hit ball out to deep left field. Bailey going back near the warning track, near the wall, and it is out of here. A solo home run from Joshua Neiswanger. And that'll add another run across for Manning Santee as they trail Sumter P-15's 5-3 our score. As Manning Santee with the big solo shot there from Joshua Neiswanger. That's the second time this season Joshua Neiswanger has gone deep on Sumter P-15s. He went deep back on June 2nd against Manning when Sumter played at Manning down at Lawrence Manning Academy. Neiswanger hit a huge solo home run to center field, so he goes yard there, and it's only a 2-run ball game. As Glenn Powell steps in, the shortstop. Davis winds, delivers, in there for a ball. Just below the knees. For a second there, that ball hit off of Neiswanger's bat. Looked like it was going to stay in, but it just kept carrying out to deep left. Davis winds the 1-0. In there for a strike right at the knees. Marion Davis has given up 3 runs off 4 hits. He's looking for the final out here in the top of the 5th. The 1-1 to Powell, swung on a hard hit ball to Pendergrass. He grabs it, throws across the diamond for the nice 6-3 out for the final out of the inning. But Manning Santee, they get a run after that solo home run from Joshua Neiswanger. 5-3 our score as we head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Baseball. I'm Taylor Novinger on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here at historic Raleigh Ballpark in downtown Sumter, South Carolina. Your P-15s, they lead 5-3 over Manning Santee post 68. As we head to the bottom of the fifth, the P-15s will be at the plate trying to get these runs back, and leading things off will be the left fielder, number 11, Corey Bailey at the plate. Jackson Baker still on the rubber here for Manning. Righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Oh, another hit by pitch for Corey Bailey. That's his 18th hit by pitch this summer. He leads the team in that category, and his numbers keep on climbing. And the P-15s have a runner on first with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. At the plate now will be the catcher, number 1, Gavin Rivers. Rivers 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. Had a single back in the first and had a ground out back in the third. Corey Bailey is just a magnet for the baseball. He has some speed too, so Baker has to be careful here for Manning. The pitch. Rivers lays down a bunt at the first base line. No one's covering the bag, and Gavin Rivers is safe. Riley Jordan came in, and Baker came in. No one was hit the bag, and Gavin Rivers with a bunt single. That's the 4th bunt single on the night. And pitching coach for Manning Santee, Avery Goff, is out of the dugout. He is not happy after seeing that, as the P-15s have first and second with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Oh, and it looks like we're seeing a pinch hitter at the plate. Someone you haven't seen in a very long time. That's going to be number 7, Joseph Chapman. Chapman has been injured all summer long with a shoulder injury. We're going to see the big first baseman. He's going to come to the plate here. And the P-15 faithful, they're cheering on. They're so excited to see Joseph Chapman at the plate. Chapman from Sumter High School, committed to USC Sumter, getting his first at-bat on the season. Righty-lefty matchup here. Baker glances at the runner. The pitch, down low and away for a ball. Good eye there from Chapman. We had Joseph Chapman up here in the radio booth about a month ago. Talked about what he does down there, and great young man he is. The 1-0, down inside for a ball. 2-0 the count. Boy, Jackson Baker looks very rattled on the mound here for Manning. Chapman has a lot of power. See if he can jack one into the gap. Baker winds the 2-0, swung on, a hard hit ball out to deep right field. Niswonger's tracking it, and he makes the catch. Runner's tag. And Joseph Chapman with a huge hit there. Unfortunately, Neiswanger was able to get to it, but the P-15 dugout, they're loving up on Chapman after he had that big hit. So runners on the corners with one out here for your Sumter P-15s. And at the plate now will be the first baseman, number 10, Connor Carter. Carter looks at his plate call on his belt buckle as he'll step in the right-handed batter's box. P-15's trying to add to this 5-3 advantage. The pitch in there for a strike. Rivers will advance to second. A stolen base for your P-15s. Great heads-up base run in there by Gavin Rivers. Second and third, one out. Coach Moonahan gives Connor Carter the call. Infield will come in here for Manning Santee. They're playing on the edge of the grass, trying to protect these runs. See if Carter can find a gap. Baker winds the 0-1, swung on up high in the shallow center field. It might fall, and it does! Moonahan waves around the other run. 2 runs come across for your Sumter P-15s as they lead 7-3 over Manning Santee post 68. Great piece of hitting there by Connor Carter. And the center fielder was playing really deep out there for Manning Santee. Great piece of hitting there. 2 RBI single there for Connor Carter. And at the plate now for your Sumter P-15s will be the shortstop, number 4, Justin Pendergrass. Pendergrass 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. Had that base clearing triple. As he's showing bunt early here. Baker winds. He pulls it back and swings into a ball in the shallow right. Neiswanger comes over, makes the catch, and Connor is able to retreat back to the bag. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. P-15's lead 7-3 over Manning Santee. And Larry Johnson will be at the plate. Johnson had that really nice single, his last at bat in the 4th. It's 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game as he steps in the right-handed batter's box. Baker winds, delivers, in there for a strike. Good-looking pitch there from Baker. Coach Moonahan talking to him. Johnson looks at his play call sheet, now tucks it into that right back left pocket. Baker looking for that final out for Manning. The 0-1, outside, good eye there by Johnson for ball 1. Starting to see some activity down the left field line here for Manning Santee. Have a few arms going out there to get loosed in their bullpen. Baker glances over that left shoulder. The 1-1 pitch, outside, good eye again from Johnson. 2-1 now. Starting to feel the energy here in Rowley Park. A lot of fans from both sides, and the P-15s have come to life here. The pitch, in there for a ball. Just missed. 3-1 the count now to Johnson. P-15's lead 7-3 as they scored 2 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. The 3-1 swung on a hard hit ball by Johnson, and that's straight to the center fielder for the final out of the inning. But your P-15s, they get 2 runs across, and they lead 7-3 over Manning Santee post 68 as we head to the top of the 6th. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Sumter on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Champs. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here at historic Raleigh Ballpark. Your P-15s, they lead 7-3 over Manning Santee post 68 here in the top of the sixth. Manning Santee will try to make a big dent in this 4-run advantage for your P-15s. And Henry Davis getting his warm-up pitches out there. He's pitched solid tonight. Probably not his best outing. He's pitched 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 errors, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. We're used to seeing a lot more strikeouts out of Davis, but the P-15s have really helped him out, backing him up in the field. And, P-15s have only committed 1 error. That 1 error was on Corey Bailey out and left, and he let a ball go between his legs out there. Other than that play, your Sumter P-15s have played pretty well in the field. Very clean out there tonight. See if that can continue as they have this 7-3 advantage. Leading off for Manning Santee, post 68, will be the second baseman, Braylon Hunt. Hunt is 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Had a ground out his last at bat in the third. Also drew a walk back in the second. Hunt steps in the right-handed batter's box. Davis winds the pitch. Upstairs for a ball, high and outside. Tried to get him to swing at the fastball. Good plate discipline there by Hunt. The 1-0. Inside for a ball. 2-0 quickly here to Hunt. Davis has struggled to get ahead in counts all night. See if he can get that much-needed first out. The 2-0 to Hunt. In there for a strike. Good-looking pitch there from Davis. Hunt trying to get something going here for Manning Santee. The 2-1 swung on and fouled. Straight back. Count evens at 2 apiece. Davis with only 1 strikeout in tonight's game for your Sumter P-15s. He's settled down here in the last couple innings. He did give up a home run to Joshua Neiswanger last inning in the 5th. Davis winds the 2-2 pitch. Inside. Good eye there from Hunt. Full count now. Hunt has some really good eyes at the plate. Has a really good on-base percentage at .515. Davis winds, delivers in there for a ball. Just missed. So Hunt will draw the leadoff walk here in the top of the 6th. And at the plate now for Manning Santee will be the center fielder, number 11, Charlie Calder. Calder 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. Had a ground out his last at bat in the 4th and had a single back in the 2nd. Davis glances over that left shoulder. Now he gathers. The pitch, swung on and missed. Big cut there by Calder. Calder missed on that fastball from Davis. Davis glances at the runner at first again. That's Hunt. The 0-1 to Calder. Nope. Throw over to first. Not in time. Davis trying to keep Hunt honest over there. Hunt has some speed on the base passes. Had a couple stolen bases this season for Manning. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 0-1 just missed inside. 1-1 the count. Davis trying to get out number 1 here for your Sumter P-15s. Davis throws over to first, not in time. trying to get something going here for Manning Santee as they trail 7-3 here in the top of the 6th. Davis winds the 1-1 pitch in there for a ball. Throw over not in time from Rivers. Trying to get the runner out at first. Davis glances over again. Hunt creeping towards second. The 2-1 to Calder. Swung on, hit up high and foul through the right side. Count evens at 2 apiece. Calder looks towards the dugout. Coach is telling him to keep his head on the baseball. A lot of Manning fans made the trip. These two squads not real far apart. A lot of these players and coaches know each other. 2-2 the count here to Calder. Davis winds, delivers, swung on and fouled to the right side there. Calder hanging in there. Beautiful evening here at Raleigh Ballpark. Lights are on. Old Glory lit up. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on a hard hit ball. The shortstop, Pendergrass. He grabs it, flips it to Johnson. Johnson, do they get the double play? No. It goes off the glove of Carter over there. But Justin Pendergrass, man, he got that baseball out of the air. That was a really hard hit ball by Calder. And Pendergrass was able to grab it, flip it to Johnson. And Johnson had a bad throw. It was low and away. And Calder just missed it. He slowed it down enough to keep the runner at first. So 1 out. And at the plate now will be the first baseman, Riley Jordan. And pitching coach Landon Delvin is out of the P-15 dugout. He's going to come out and talk to Marion Davis here. Trying to settle him down. Davis has had trouble finding the strike zone last couple of batters. Manning Santee has a very active bullpen at the moment. P-15's had Matthew McKinnon warming up as he'll come into the dugout, kind of waiting for any moment's notice. Jordan looks up to the sky, points to it, now steps in the right-handed batter's box. The future offensive lineman at Averett University trying to get a hit here in baseball for Manning. Davis winds to pitch, swung on a hard hit ball by Jordan to the shortstop Pendergrass. He flips it, and they get the out at second base. What a play by Pendergrass. That was a sharply hit ball. And he grabbed it, stayed with it, flipped it over there to Johnson for the second out of the inning. Boy, the P-15s were very, very fortunate to just get 1 out of that. Pendergrass is playing out of sight at shortstop tonight. So 2 outs, runner at first. That's Jordan, who reached on the fielder's choice there. And at the plate will be the third baseman, number 8, Sloan Harper. Harper steps in the left-handed batter's box. The pitch in there for a ball. Just a tad outside. Gavin Rivers talking to the home plate umpire, asking him where it missed. P-15's trying to get the final out here in the top of the 6th, leading 7-3. Davis winds the 1-0. Upstairs, 2-0 now. P-15 dugout clapping it up. Trying to get Davis out of this inning. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 2-0 pitch in there for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Good job by Gavin Rivers framing that one. Manning Santee trails by 4 runs. Harper trying to change that. The 2-1 pitch. Outside and high. 3-1 now. Harper's 0 for 2 in tonight's ball game. He's had 2 flyouts. Marion Davis doesn't need to walk him. Davis gives the nod to Rivers. The 3-1 pitch outside, and Harper will draw the 2-out walk for Manning Santee. So runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And pitching coach Landon Delvin is going to come out of the dugout. We'll see if he makes that FTC call to the bullpen, or if he's going to give Davis another batter here. And Landon Delvin is going to take Marion Davis out of the ball game, and we'll make a FTC call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by FTC, your home internet wireless care provider. Give them a call today for all your home and internet needs. So pitching coach Landon Delvin is going to bring in Matthew McKinnon on the mound for your Sumter P-15s. As Marion Davis, his night is done. He gave up 3 runs off of 4 hits in tonight's contest. Davis didn't have his normal stuff on the mound tonight, but the P-15 offense has provided a really good cushion here for Matthew McKinnon, who's going to come in with a 4-run advantage. Davis's final stats line are 5.2 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 errors, 6 walks, and 1 strikeout. That's the most walks this season for Marion Davis. As Matthew McKinnon, the righty, will come in. McKinnon from Lakewood High School, local product, Lakewood Gator. One of 2 Lakewood Gators on the Sumter P-15 roster. And he'll have to face the top of the order here for Manning Santee post 68, as the pitcher, Jackson Baker, will be at the plate. Baker will come to the plate 0 for 3, and Baker comes into this contest with a nice average at .345. So Baker's a really good hitter out of Andrews High School, rising senior, 2027 prospect. Baker was the 2A All-State South Carolina Baseball Coaches Association this past spring. Baker also had a nice outing his last time on the mound. He only gave up 3 runs, but tonight he's given up 7 to your Sumter P-15s as they lead 7-3 here in the top of the 6th. Baker steps in the left-handed batter's box. Matthew McKinnon, the new pitcher on the mound for your Sumter P-15s. Baker calls time, didn't like how long McKinnon was taking. Pitching coach Landon Delvin made a FTC call to the bullpen. Matthew McKinnon comes in with first and second and 2 outs. The pitch to Baker, outside for a ball. Good eye there from Baker. P-15 sending a couple more arms down that right field line to their bullpen. McKinnon looks at the runner. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there by Matthew McKinnon. Got the outside corner. 1-1 the count now. See if McKinnon can get that final out. McKinnon winds the 1-1 in there for a strike. Beautiful pitch there for Matthew McKinnon. It stunned Baker. 1-2 the count now. See if McKinnon can come in off the bench here and get a strikeout. As he steps off the rubber and resets, Baker steps out of the left-handed batter's box. Now he steps back in. P-15s lead 7-3 here in the top of the 6th. Manning Santee trying to get some runs back. First and second with 2 outs. Home plate umpire waved it off as Rivers is going to come out there and talk to McKinnon. Going over some strategy here, what type of pitch they want to give Baker. Baker comes in with the .345 average, .486 on base percentage, so solid hitter at the plate. He's 0 for 3 in tonight's game. See if he can get something going here for Manning Santee as they trail by 4 runs. P-15's looking for their final out here in the top of the 6th. McKinnon glances at the runner. The 1-2 outside. Good eye there from Baker. Count evens at 2 apiece. P-15s do have a couple pitchers getting loose down there in their bullpen. McKinnon takes his time on the mound here between pitches. Home plate umpire calls time. Doesn't like how long McKinnon's taken. Baker steps back in the left-handed batter's box. 2-2 the count. McKinnon just needs one more strike here. As he winds, the pitch swung on and fouled to the left side. Ooh, that one was a laser to the parking lot. As McKinnon will walk around the rubber. Coach DeBose will come out of the P-15 dugout with some baseballs for the home plate umpire as he restocks. Been a lot of foul balls in tonight's contest. Baker trying to extend the inning here for Manning Santee. McKinnon shakes off his catcher Rivers. Shakes him off again. Now gives him the nod. The 2-2 pitch in there for strike 3. Caught him looking for the final out of the inning. Your P-15s, they lead 7-3 over Manning Santee post 68 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. I've been drawing the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. Welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here at historic Raleigh Ballpark in downtown Sumter, South Carolina. Your Sumter P-15s, they lead 7-3 over Manning Santee post 68 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here. P-15s trying to add some more runs across and get some more hits on the board. They've had 7 runs off of 10 hits, and they've only committed 1 error in tonight's game. Meanwhile, Manning Santee with 3 runs off of 4 hits, and Manning Santee has committed 3 errors. Leading things off for your P-15s will be the 8-hole hitter, number 9, Bodie Bowden, the center fielder. Bowden 0 for 2 in tonight's game. Jackson Baker still on the mound here for Manning. See if Bowden can get something going here, as a couple more arms will make their way to that Manning Santee bullpen. Bowden shows bunt, gets it down the third baseline. Going to be a tough play. Harper throws, and it is not in time. Bodie Bowden with the leadoff single bunt. Boy, great heads-up play there by Bodie Bowden. He saw how deep the third baseman Harper was playing, and he pulled that bat around and laid the bunt beautifully. I believe that's the 5th bunt in tonight's game for a single. Just incredible bunting by this P-15 hitting. Coach Moonahan has really taught these guys up. So runner at first, and Cade Moonahan will show a bunt, and he lays it down right in front of the pitcher, and he'll throw it over there for the nice 1-3 out, and Bowden will advance to second base. So runner at second, that's Bowden with 1 out, and the top of the order due up for your P-15s with B.J. Balls at the plate. Balls leads this team with 26 singles this season. Incredible stuff. See if he can find a gap here and bring this run across. Baker winds, delivers outside for ball 1. B.J. Balls from Lawrence Manning Academy. Played this past spring at Florence Darlington Technical College. Local JUCO program. Balls batted .398 average at Flodar this past spring, as he takes ball 2 in the outside part of the plate. Baker having some trouble finding the strike zone here for Manning. Balls leads the team with 14 RBIs. See if he can find a gap here. Baker looks at the runner. The 2-0 swung on a hard hit ball by Balls, and that'll fall into center field for a single. They wave around Bowden, and he will score for your Sumter P-15s. An RBI single for B.J. Balls. And your Sumter P-15s extend the lead. They lead 8-3 over Manning Santee post 68. B.J. Balls, just incredible hitting all season long, and he's just a single master. I mean, hits a ton of singles. That's his 27th on the season. And another RBI. That's his 15th RBI. Balls just did a nice job choking up on that bat and hit it out towards right center field. And just a beautiful piece of hitting there. And looks like Manning Santee post 68 will make a FTC call to the bullpen. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by FTC, your home internet wireless care provider. Give FTC a call today for all your home improvement needs. Looks like Manning Santee is going to bring in a right-handed pitcher. Number 6 coming in the ball game. P-15s leading by 5 runs as they scratched a run across here in the bottom of the 6th. And if you're Manning Santee post 68, you kind of need to start thinking about tomorrow's game, you know, who you want to pitch. Because I'm sure that Manning coaching staff doesn't want to put a lot of arms on the mound tonight. At the plate for your Sumter P-15s will be the left fielder, number 11, Corey Bailey, as he'll come to the plate. Hall Dukes, the new pitcher, on the mound for Manning Santee, post 68. Dukes from Williamsburg Academy, 2A Skeeza School over there near King Street, South Carolina. Dukes is a rising senior. He comes in with a 4.45 ERA on the season for Manning Santee, as he'll try to shut down this hitting clinic the P-15s have put on. They've scored 8 runs off of 12 hits in tonight's ball game. So Corey Bailey will be at the plate as he looks at Coach Moonahan. Now he steps in the right-handed batter's box. Dukes looking for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. As he throws to first, not in time to get B.J. Balls. Balls already has 1 stolen base in tonight's ball game. He's looking for another one here. Dukes winds the pitch. Down low and away there for a ball. 1-0 the count here to Bailey. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Moonahan gives the go sign for Balls at first. And he does go. The throw is offline, and B.J. Balls with a stolen base for your Sumter P-15s. That's his second stolen base in tonight's ball game, and his 24th on the season. 24 stolen bags for B.J. Balls. And he's at second base with 1 out. The 2-0 from Duke swung on. A hard hit ball by Bailey to the shortstop. He grabs it, throws across the diamond for the nice 6-3 out. That does advance Balls to third base, though. So runner at third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And that'll bring up the catcher, number 1, Gavin Rivers, to the plate. Rivers has had a very productive night. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Had a single his last at bat in the 5th, and grounded out in the 3rd and had a single back in the 1st. Duke's looking for that final out as he winds, delivers, in there for a ball. All Dukes coming in relief here for Jackson Baker for Manning Santee post 68. Your Sumter P-15 still lead 8-3. The 1-0 inside almost hit Rivers for ball 2. Good eye there by the Sumter High School product. Rivers is taking his talents to USC Sumter. Future fire in at the plate. The 2-0 from Dukes. Outside for a strike on the edge of the zone there. 2-1 now. Dukes has to be careful here. He doesn't want to throw a wild pitch or a pass ball because Balls is very fast. The 2-1 in there for a strike. Inside pitch. The P-15 faithful do not like that call, but Dukes has battled back from a 2-0 count. Now he has Rivers 2-2. Manning Santee trying to get out of the inning. The 2-2 from Dukes. Outside, gets away from the catcher, and B.J. Balls will stand up for your P-15s. A wild pitch there from the pitcher. And your Sumter P-15s at a run. They lead 9-3 over Manning Santee post 68. Just a big miscue there. That's something you do not want to do, especially with B.J. Balls at third base. He practically took a stroll to home plate. The 3-2 to Rivers. Inside and a dead ball hit by pitch. Rivers is grabbing that arm. Hopefully he's okay. It looked like the ball hit him on the wrist there. And he's grimacing in some pain out there for your Sumter P-15s. That does not look good. P-15s do not want their star catcher and hitter to go down. As Coach DeBose is coming out of the dugout, so is Coach Moonahan checking on him. Looks like Coach DeBose has made the permanent change to put Gavin Rivers in that Joseph Chapman in that DH role for Mac McDaniel as Chapman's on deck. I thought he was hit by a pitch, but they're going to say a foul ball apparently. So full count still to Gavin Rivers I thought that clearly hit him on the wrist, not the baseball bat. So Rivers steps in with 2 outs. Base is clear. The 3-2 from Dukes. Swung on a little dribbler. Up towards the mound. Dukes grabs it, takes some time, and he throws it wild, and he's safe. That'll go down as an error on the pitcher there. So Gavin Rivers will be at first base. They're going to give him a hit. And at the plate now for your Sumter P-15s, number 7, Joseph Chapman, the DH. Chapman is 0 for 1 in tonight's ball game. Had a fly out towards center field. Dukes winds, delivers. Chapman hits it right back to the pitcher for the final out of the inning. But your Sumter P-15s, they add 2 runs, and they lead 9-3 over Manning Santee post 68 as we head to the top of the 7th. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM. Team Baseball. I'm Taylor Novinger on the call for your P-15s all season long here on the Jams. We welcome you back to Bobby Richardson Field here at historic Raleigh Ballpark. Your P-15s, they lead 9-3 over Manning Santee post 68 as we head to the top of the 7th. Matthew McKinnon getting his warm-up pitches out as he came in relief last inning for Marion Davis, and McKinnon did a nice job striking out that lone batter he faced. As we talk about MLB baseball, we normally do our scoreboard this time of the night, but MLB is in the All-Star break. Last night, American League won 4-0 over the National League. As things will get back cranking up in major leagues on Thursday evening with the Mets and Phillies, and everyone will get back cranking up on Friday. So McKinnon will try to get the final 3 outs here for your Sumter P-15s, but he'll have to face the catcher, number 22, Landon Miller, at the plate. Miller, a rising junior for Lawrence Manning Academy. Miller's 1 for 2 in tonight's game. His last at bat, he had a single in the 5th, flew out in the 2nd, and had a walk back in the 1st. McKinnon gives the nod to Rivers. The pitch in there for a strike. Just missed for a ball. Not a bad location there from McKinnon. Better take there from Miller. The 1-0, swung on and missed. Big cut there by Miller. He was swinging for the fences. That's brought to you by CarQuest Auto Parts. P-15's lead 9-3 here in the top of the 7th. The 1-1 from McKinnon, down low and away. Good eye there from Miller for ball 2. McKinnon takes a deep breath. Now he winds. The 2-1 outside. 3-1 now here to Miller. It's one thing the P-15s have not done a great job tonight is keeping that leadoff runner from getting on. The 3-1 to Miller outside, and Miller will draw the leadoff walk for Manning Santee. That's back-to-back, two-back innings. Manning Santee has had the leadoff runner on. And at the plate now will be the left fielder, Roy Carter. Righty-righty matchup here. McKinnon winds, delivers, upstairs for a ball. 1-0 the count. Carter's had a very productive night for Manning Santee. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a pop-up. McKinnon winds the 1-0. In there for a strike, off the outside corner. Strike 1. P-15s have sent some pitchers down to the bullpen. The 1-1 for McKinnon, swung on, hit up high into foul territory near the wall, and it gets to the bullpen as B.J. Balls was tracking it down the right field line there. Good hustle. That's one thing I've been impressed with tonight, the effort and hustle from the Sumter P-15s. They're giving everything they have out there. See if McKinnon can get out number 1 here in the top of the 7th. The 1-2 to Carter. Outside and rung him up. Struck him out looking. That's the second strikeout for Matthew McKinnon. It's a runner at first with 1 out. And that'll bring up the right fielder, number 17, Joshua Niswonger. Niswonger had a huge solo home run his last at bat in the 5th. McKinnon winds, delivers outside for ball 1. Niswonger 1 for 2 in tonight's ball game. He also drew a walk back in the 1st. McKinnon gives the nod to Rivers. The 1-0 swung on, hit up high into shallow right field. Balls is tracking in, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. And at the plate now for Manning Santee will be the shortstop, number 5, Granger Powell. Powell coming in, batting .321 on the season for Manning Santee. Powell steps in the right-handed batter's box. McKinnon winds, delivers. Outside, good block there from Rivers for ball 1. McKinnon has come in last inning. He had 2 strikeouts, looking for his 3rd. McKinnon steps off the rubber. Didn't like the big lead over there by Miller. P-15s do a good job communicating in the field there. The 1-0. Outside. 2-0 the count now to Powell. Powell's 0 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Trying to get something going here for Manning Santee. McKinnon winds, delivers, in there for a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count now. P-15s in the playoffs here, playing Manning Santee. The 2-1 from McKinnon, in there for a ball. 3-1 the count. P-15s playing game 1 of best of 3. So if they could get the win tonight and get the win tomorrow night, they would advance. The 3-1 from McKinnon, swung on, a slow dribbler to Moonahan at third base. He grabs it, throws across the diamond, and he bounces it over there for the nice 5-3 out. Your Sumter P-15s, they get the victory over Manning Santee, post 68. They win 9-3. Your P-15s with 9 runs off of 13 hits and 1 error. Manning Santee with 3 runs off of 4 hits and 4 errors in tonight's ball game. Your Sumter P-15s move to 1-0 in the series. They will play tomorrow's night's game at Lawrence Manning Academy. And if the P-15s are able to win tomorrow night, they'll advance here in the playoffs. But what a great game by your Sumter P-15s. Just a solid hitting performance. And tonight's player of the game, got to give it to Gavin Rivers. He was 3 for 4 with 3 singles. Incredible stuff there for that young man. And the P-15s get the victory at home. They'll hit the road tomorrow night to play at Manning Santee to try to get the win and advance. I'm Taylor Novinger, and it's been a joy to bring you tonight's broadcast. We'll get you back to that jams and hip-hop. You're listening to the Jams on 92.3 and 93.3 FM.